So it has a lot of good characteristics about it, you know, and that's why we serve it.
Beautiful. Well, I'm impressed. It's delicious, and this is really, really amazing.
Don't fill up because they're.
No, I know. That's why I'm holding out. So, Jan, ¿qué otro plato vamos a probar?
Oh, Gilberto. Ahorita con este clima, cuando está las nubes, etcétera, ¿no? Tenemos la birria, pero en un bowl, you know, and then the consommé is el que rifa, right? You lose a little bit of that, the braisedness in there, right? But the soup makes up for it, the consommé, right? I know we tried it already, but you've got to take a look at this one here. So we're going to try it.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's do it.
Ándale, so this one here es una, lo ves y olvídate, para la gente que anda cruda, you know, yeah, this helps them get over their hangover.
Yeah, I would imagine absolutely.
Yeah, so dig in there, you know, grab a piece of meat primero y la costilla es la que rifa aquí. Ya nomás le ponemos caldito acá. Una vez hice un pozole de este broth. Traía ganas de pozole y pues con este mismo hice un pozolito y salió delicioso, man.
Sure.
Right, just so you can sample it.
Gracias. Grab a little bit here. I'm thinking I'm going to do it the way I think it should be done. I'm not sure if this is the way, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to grab this baby here. And I'm going to basically put it here. And then take it off the bone.
Oh man, you're a pro at this, man. The ribs are slightly gamier than most of the other cuts. It's delicious.
Honestly, for me, I prefer the gamier flavor. I prefer the fat.
Oh yeah.
I think it brings so much flavor and the texture. It's just amazing.
Listen, I'll put this back over here.
I'm a traumatized young. As a child, my father would make me have menudo. I didn't like it. I hated it. But I realized that as an adult that I was being forced to eat undercooked menudo.
Oh.
And menudo properly prepared is amazing. The texture is just beautiful. It falls apart in your mouth. It's just all the flavors. It's just amazing. But I would just get upset at my sister, my older sister. She would be eating with us, and she didn't care. She would eat it, and it'd be like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I felt as though I was eating the sole of a shoe kind of thing. I was just chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I don't know why. My sister would love it. She just would consume it like nothing. But for me, it was that. And as I got older, I realized, oh my God, this is done properly. This is absolutely amazing.
It's like birria. When you talk about Jalisco, when you hear birria, mariachi, and tequila, is in Jalisco, right? Right off the bat.
Right.
But not all birrerias are
created equal.
Exactly. I like that one. There's a lady that sells some menudo in the city of Jamay, Jalisco. Oh my goodness. It is so good. It's not gamey. It's very tasty. The soup, everything. What do you think? It's not too gamey?
No? Not at all. I can taste the tripe, la tripa. The menudo falls apart in your mouth. It literally falls apart in your mouth. It's delicious. It's got a nice toasty taste to it. Está hasta como tostadito, but it's got that little bit of a smoky flavor to it.
And that's our effort to try to chip away at some of the over gaminess that's there. You know, I like it, but if you shave off a little bit, it's just right, perfect there. You know, enough that you know it's chivo. You know. And if you see the soup, Roberto, you don't see a lot of grease in it. It's just very clean, brothy soup, you know?
Wow. This is amazing. Honestly, this is absolutely amazing. Unlike anything I've ever tasted. It definitely has this earthiness to it. The smokiness, you know, kind of brings that. But it's if you hadn't told me that it was tripe and that it, well, no, I could taste the tripe, but not the menudo.
Okay.
It really does not anything remotely resemble your any kind of a typical menudo. It really has very soft. You know, it again doesn't remind me of that. It really has a beautiful taste to it.
Yeah, and it's easy to chew too. You know what I mean? It's not.
No.
It takes a long time to make.
I'm sure.
And you know, I'm sure somebody else makes it out there, but I think we may be the only ones. We call it machito. You know, like in Monterey, they have the machitos, right? And they throw in, they're elongated. They put different organ meat in there, which is also good, you know. And but ours again, we typically just use the tripe, you know, and the stomach lining, and then we braid it. So normally it comes in a wheel, you know, rounds. But I like for him to put it back on the griddle and give it that taste.
Yeah, that smoky taste to it. Absolutely. It's amazing. La verdad que
I'm glad you like that one.
Me encanta la tripa. A mí, I really enjoy the intestines crunchy.
Oh, gracias.
Crujientes. But this is amazing. It doesn't have that texture, and it's really good.
So you can tell you're used to eating some of this
Absolutely.
food. Yeah. A lot of folks, you know, it's something new, and when you tell them what it is, they're like, "Yikes! No, I think I'm gonna pass on that one."
Yeah, no. They don't know what they're missing. This is, como dicen, esta es la comida de los dioses. Yeah. See, you just had the consommé the way I wanted to. I just didn't want to bring the bowl up to me. I want to do the same thing.
Oh,
consommé.
You tried everything. That's our whole menu, you know. And so you tried our traditional dish plate. This one here, like I said, a lot of people like the soupiness. It's very hearty, and oh my God, it's so warm, you know.
This is amazing, delicious. I mean, obviously you can tell I loved it.
It goes hand in hand with the cabeza, right? The cabeza taco. They're kind of like
different. The other one just is a little more spicier. It has a little more variety of spices that you have in there. Quite honestly, it even reminds me of chorizo. When I was having it, I could see how it.
Yeah, and you're right, because we chop it to make sure that there are no bony pieces in there. But as a result, it turns out like chorizo. And let's do some chorizo de chivo.
Very similar. Speaking of, we're about to launch a chicken chorizo.
Oh, no way.
If I didn't tell you when you have it that it's chorizo, chicken chorizo, you would never think it's chicken chorizo, because it literally mimics the pork or the beef that we have. I think it's like on par with the pork. No, since that's the original.
Kind of like in that.
No. Like chorizo.
Yeah.
No, el pastor es el pastor. No, chorizo is chorizo, and this literally the texture, how it cooks up, everything. Again, if I didn't tell you, and that's the unique and beautiful thing about it, because every other product that we tested.
Yeah. ¿Y qué colores?
Como chorizo, igualito, como si you see it, and you go, no, that's not chicken, that's just regular chorizo.
That's a great idea. Porque mucha gente no quiere comer, you know, the chicken, absolutely. That's nice to have there. So, órale, cálenlo. I want some.
Yeah, we're going to have it for food service as well as for retail. So it's going to be available because people, there for whatever reason, people do not eat pork. They don't eat beef, but they'll have chicken.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like the number one seller. Estoy pensando aquí también. Te digo, sometimes people come in there, yeah, I'm not too sure, you know. On the north side, I'm more flexible. I have guacamole, chips, salsa, you know, porque allá hay más gente que, you know, hay vegetarianos, etc. But that's a great idea. Listo, de volada. How long does it take? You know, 3 minutes.
Sí, exactamente. No, bueno, el tiempo de cocinarlo igual como el otro chorizo, 10 minutos, en fin, el guisado y todo. But yeah, I'm excited because I believe that this is a product that doesn't exist in the market. Nobody has anything even remotely like this. Excuse me. All the products that I've seen out there, they look like shredded chicken with spices. That's not chorizo.
No.
I mean, it might be okay, you know, but it's not chorizo.
That's more like a
or like a tinga, maybe along those lines, or maybe. So it doesn't really, you know, resemble chorizo per se. You call it that, but it really isn't. Whereas this, like I said, you look at it, you taste it, and you'll be like, "You're kidding me, really?" Because it's that good. It really is.
Will it be in stores and things? Yeah. Really?
Yep. And we'll have it available through distributors for food service. Absolutely.
Since I like sampling this stuff, you know.
Es lo de menos. Don't worry about that.
Para calar aquí un taquito.
Yeah, absolutely. No. Kind of remember we talked about getting samples and giving people a try and give a try. So we believe it too. We'll get you samples. Don't worry about it.
I'll be the first sampler.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we'll get you samples. Yeah.
Well, this is our whole menu.
Well, listen, I have to say I absolutely enjoyed. I think this is the most goat that I have eaten in quite some time. I do enjoy it. In fact, my son Sebastian and I, we are the few that when we order Middle Eastern food, we always order Indian food. We always order goat or some form of goat, curry goat. Yeah, that's very common. So we order that. We like the gaminess of it, so we enjoy it. So absolutely, this has been an absolute pleasure just having the opportunity to taste a really authentic Mexican heritage and just this beautiful food that you get to share with people and enjoy it and bring truly a little bit of the Mexican culture, which that's kind of what I enjoy doing with the products that we sell, just sharing a little bit of our culture with the world. And having them enjoy it and celebrate, you know, that stuff a little bit, and that give an opportunity for people to share in that.
No, you know what? There is certainly a connection between goat and the world. You know, especially up north, I see a lot of folks popping in from different parts of the world. You know, and they tell me their stories, how their mother made it, and things like that. But I'm like, really? You know, because when I opened up here, you know, I'm looking for a los mexicanos que vinieran, right? And then I start seeing other people walking in. And the more I learned about it, I'm like, oh, that makes perfect. Like right now, you said, hey, Middle Eastern, you know, and sure enough.
There's a big Middle Eastern community here on the south side. Absolutely, huge.
And this is actually halal. Our meat is halal coming from out there. Once it shows up here, though, we use a lot of la manteca. So, but sometimes they call and they said, hey, John, can you make me a special order? And I'll use a back kitchen. You know, and that's completely halal. There's no pork, nothing, you know, out of respect for their religion as well. So that is something that we do, you know, when it's requested. So
it's amazing. That's accommodating, giving, you know, providing that little extra service, and I'm sure they must enjoy. Yeah.
Sometimes they're here, and I'm like, let's see. I'm always like a purist. Oh my God, you know, I don't want to change this. But before I serve stuff, I usually try it, and if it doesn't deviate that much, I'm good with that. You know, if they're good, I'll say, here, sample it, and they're like, this is so good, man. Y si allá los matan halal. You know, so it
Yeah,
works out.
we sell quite a bit of beef chorizo because into the Middle Eastern communities because they obviously not going to consume pork, but beef they definitely will, and I think chicken will be something that obviously they would prefer it halal, but they also consume foods that are not necessarily halal in that sense. So yeah, a little bit more flexible. We've been selling to that community for years and years. We sell our del Caribe. It's our white cheese, our queso blanco. That has been resonating with that community for years and years and years and years. We actually have in their language we have white cheese on our labeling. Just tons into the Michigan areas. There's a huge community out there as well. Absolutely, it's amazing how products can connect with so many different diverse communities.
Yeah, allá está, next to Jalisco está Michoacán, right? It's like our hometown, La Barca, is here, and there's, Guadalajara up that way. You have to cross El Rio Lerma, over the bridge, you're in Michoacán, so our original plate has some influence from Michoacán, because we're right on the edge, right? But in Saguayo, Michoacán, there's a gentleman by the name of, le dicen el amarillo. Why? Because he ended up in a hospital one time and he looked pale. And everybody says, estás bien amarillo. Y se le quedó el amarillo. But his cheese, he's got...
Which is very common in Mexico, right? Los apodos.
Oh my God, el amarillo. But the wheels, right, of cheese, I usually bring one back. I swap clothes for cheese, I vengo con mi maleta. But anyway, his cheese has won awards, like, globally. It's de cotija. But it's, oh my God, it's funky, but it is so good. It is delicious, man. Your cotija is good too. We use yours too for enchiladas.
Yeah, no, we've also won awards against Mexican cheeses.
Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. We've won awards against them. Absolutely.
Congrats.
Yeah. It speaks to. Let me tell you, I've had the cotija from Mexico, and it's one of those things that if you grow up consuming it, it brings back memories, and it just you just resonate with it. It's just amazing. To me, it's talk about gamey. That cheese is gamey. I mean, it's funky.
Salty sometimes.
Sometimes salty, but I'm more concerned about the funky part. Because I'm not sure if you take it to the laboratory and have it analyzed how potentially, I'm just saying, because I've had it and I'm like, because in fact on one year we took second place over a company that won first place in that category, and I'm like, you know what, I want to try it. I want to see what it is. How good is this? What is it that made this so great? So they have an auction at the end, and we bought it. We outbid everybody, got the cheese, took it back, and I'm like, wow. No, this is interesting. It's very good, but it just really has that barn feeling, that taste that has just really strong,
Like
pungent.
you're biting into the cow.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yes. I couldn't put it any better than that. Biting into the cow. It has that, and so I'm like, and I think it's just either you grow up with it or this is what people are used to, and you know what? I'm not here to judge. This is what people want. We do ours. It doesn't quite have that funkiness, but it has this robust dairy notes and the flavors, the nuttiness to it, a lot of umami. It really brings a lot of that. And so, again, it's de gustos en gustos. It's all about.
Goes back to La Birria, a lot of people like this funky gaminess, and I'm like, no, bring it right here, right here in the center. And I understand the cheese also because some of it is like, oh, it's overpowering, and the smell, the aroma, But you're right, when you find a good one that's not overly exaggerated with the funkiness, that's a good one. But they're rare. I'm sure they exist. I tried one, but I don't know where it was from.